Welcome back to CryptoJournal. We're thrilled to have you here. Hi guys, I'm Manuel, a young trader. I bring you this fresh news to update you on the world of cryptocurrencies. Both gold and Bitcoin have a limited supply and can be mined. Both have limited utility and derive value from the trust placed on them by society, because the similarities many precede. Bitcoin is a storage value, just like gold.
That clearly the central bankers are quite worried about the second round effects and how much it's going to take to actually squeeze inflation out of the system, probably looking at needing a recession to get things back to kind of target consistent levels. We don't think you can actually. We think that a recession is necessary. We're looking at something like a 1.5% peak to trough decline, and only then will we start getting inflation, maybe next year, closer to target. But we've got second round effects, high wages feeding through. There's evidence of that, and central banks have to be mindful that financial conditions have been loose.
The recession is already here. Now Cathie Wood and ARK Invest deal in the higher risk end of the market, which means they need a strong economy to do really well.
You would think Bitcoin would be...
But then I would think that crypto would be wildly overvalued too.
Yeah.
Two of congressional hearings on the collapse of SVB and Signature Banks.
Inflation's, what are you saying inflation is now? What number are you using?
Well, so core inflation is 4.4, which is more than double the stable prices that the Fed uses.
He said inflation's already at a point where rates are too high. That's what he was saying.
Oh, inflation, they're supposed to keep it under 2%, and it's at 4.4, and wage inflation is 4.5 and increasing.
Bitcoin is climbing again today, though, as investors' appetite for growth in tech stocks returns. And we've got some new stimulus adding to its appeal as an inflation hedge. Bitcoin is up for the 7th straight day this week. That's the longest winning streak.
Some of cryptocurrency's major use cases currently are as a store of wealth and as an alternative to fiat currency. It is highly resistant to inflation, as the exact number of Bitcoin is predetermined. These are major points in Bitcoin's favor if a global recession were to occur. If a global recession were to occur, you would likely see many forms of investment take large hits. Real estate debt is higher now than in 2008. You can bet real estate is going to fall in a global recession. Stocks will fall as well as the global economy stumbles. Gold will rise as it always does during chaotic economic times. Even fiat currency such as the dollar will be affected by mass inflation as central banks print money to pull the economy out of a stall. Fortunately, cryptocurrency isn't worried about any of these things. The price of all crypto right now is still mostly speculative. This is demonstrated by the massive bubbles the crypto space continues to experience. It is a technology which arrived before its time, and it will continue to experience volatility until it is more heavily adopted. It may be relevant to include at this point that many people have described Bitcoin as virtual gold. Furthermore, the bubble of late 2017 caught people's attention. As a result, they have educated themselves on cryptocurrency and perhaps even purchased small amounts. If a global recession were to transpire and stocks, real estate, and even fiat is losing its value, I'd imagine cryptocurrency might be a form of investment some might find appealing in such a climate.
I mean, what the heck is this Bitcoin stuff anyway, right? And I said to her, do you remember when Visa cards first came out? You were used to paying with cash or with a check, and then a Visa came out. It was this weird payment system that you didn't understand. And she said, yeah, I remember that. I said, well, Bitcoin is just the next evolution of another payment system.
So what is Bitcoin? Well, simply put, it's a digital currency, much like the electronic currency we use today. But it's also the payment network, which facilitates the transfer of this new digital currency from one person to another. Unlike the banking system we currently use, where bureaucrats meet behind closed doors and determine and regulate the supply of new currency, mathematics and cryptography are used to regulate the creation of new bitcoins. The Bitcoin network is decentralized, meaning that instead of transactions and account balances being stored on a central computer or database, Bitcoin's ledger of accounts, more commonly known as the blockchain, is distributed across tens of thousands of computers around the world. All Bitcoin transactions are cryptographically verified by thousands of computers on the Bitcoin network. These very powerful computers, known as miners, expend a massive amount of energy and processing power to verify the integrity of each and every transaction. The decentralized nature of the Bitcoin network eliminates a single point of failure and makes it impossible to be hacked or to be shut down. Bitcoin transactions are transmitted peer-to-peer without the need for a third party, meaning that the user is in complete control of their money.
I do believe we will get ETF applications approved before the end of this year. We've got about 100 days or so left to go. BlackRock knocking at the door, Fidelity, et cetera, I think really helps.
Look, as you said, I mean, revenues were up 5%, operating income was up 7%, net income was up 14%. We did have some outflows in our precision ETFs, which is a great example of more people are choosing iShares to trade.
In 2023, investors have weathered a slew of industry bankruptcies, low trading volume, and a regulatory crackdown in the U.S., which have kept the cryptocurrency below $32,000. Not to mention the closure of crypto-friendly banks Silvergate and Signature back in March.
Crypto gains continue. Coins and tokens rally on expectations of increased liquidity as the financial system starts to strain.
According to a report from Standard Chartered, Bitcoin could hit $100,000 by the end of 2024.
If you enjoy this video, please consider subscribing and giving it a thumbs up. Your support means the world to us. Thank you for being a part of our community.